Welcome back, guys. So the votes are in. You want me to do an original piece of art, and it's okay doing these paint by numbers and stuff, and it's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommended. I'm yet to do a bit more on this later today. Maybe I might do a 2.5 to 3 hour session on this later. But it's okay doing that stuff. But then this other, my friend has been inspirational for me, and he's been doing his original pieces of art, and that's why I said that in the poll. So basically, get rid of that thing. That's what I intend to do. So to get back into the mode of drawing and stuff, I dug out this book, and in this book it teaches you some of the aspects that I've got in my head for this painting that I want to try to achieve. And while I was there, it's a fantastic book. It's the Barrington Barber, The Complete Introduction to Drawing. Not much how-to in there. There is a little bit of how-to at the beginning when it teaches you about you got your materials and stuff. It's got basic mark making skills. Do you know what I mean? You get basic shapes and different things, and it talks about like shapes and shading and stuff, and then it talks about this is literally all the how-to you're going to get basically. Then it talks about different types of shading techniques that you can do and different textures you've got going on. This is what I'm going to be doing in a minute. You're going to see me try some of these things. I'm not going crazy with it, people. And then it talks about how to create three-dimensional shapes, as you can see, the ball, the cube. Do you know what I mean? It talks about like spheres and things like that. So all these aspects are going to go into my paint, eventually into my painting. And it talks about how to shade and create. Well, it doesn't tell you the how-to, but it's there. You got to sort of ad lib a little bit with this book. Then it goes into basically all the way through the book. It gives you an example like this, but doesn't teach you how to actually draw the thing. But you're sort of getting the shapes. Basically, those shapes you saw at the beginning, you can create that way. Is it 72? Page 72. Yeah, there it is. It talks about perspective. Bring it up a little bit so you can see it. It goes into it talks about perspective, the cone version, as you can see there, the cone version. So seeing how to create the perspective in a painting, that's what I need, especially for in my head. We've got you can see this on camera. We have a 1 point perspective here, which got 1 point. I'll bring it down now so you can see it. It's got a 1 point perspective, single, so that means it's there. That's the vanishing point. So all these cubes will go into that, so it gives you depth. And then over here for this example here, we have one vanishing point over here and another point over here. And then these two things meet, we put cubes and bits in. So I've got to learn how to do this. I'm doing that, or I'll have a little play with this later to see if I can create something. And then we've got this idea of the perspective looking at this way, do you know what I mean? Straight on, which is fantastic. So let's get started, people. I mainly brought this book in 2008 because of this reason. The skeleton, human figure, live drawing the human figure, for which I had to study. I had to study all this stuff. For my art diploma or art BTEC diploma, and this live drawing, fantastic. I should get back into it. I look forward to getting back into it. But it teaches you all kinds about hands, feet, all kinds of stuff. This is why I brought it mainly for. But all the way through the book, it doesn't really give you the how-tos, but it gives you a sort of example. Do you know what I mean? Sketch it out, blah, blah, blah. It's not a great book of how-tos. Okay, this portrait one I looked at looked pretty cool. It shows you how to make a basic shape, then put some hair in, then look at where the body is, the head is pointed, then you sketch it out, then you get darker tones, then even darker, shadower tones. So you sort of get, okay, I can make up a head that way. Same with this guy's portrait. You can start the portrait like this, with a line and then portion it off, because I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 5 or 6 sections to a portrait, and the face is the same as the hairline and the forehead, basically. So that's one. If you look at this guy's head, that's 1 half, and that's 2 halves to his chin. So 1 half, 2 halves, and that's split with his hairline, his nose and lips, and then the chin mark, and that's what these lines represent. It's fantastic, really, when you look at it. Again, it goes through a little bit of this, then it goes back into basic describing things to you. Either way, let's get to page 22, and we'll have a go at some of these mark making things, because that is going to be incorporated into my thing, you know. So, and people have always said, I can't draw. I bet you can draw. I can't get it in there. Again, we've got this problem keeping the book open. Well, we've got these lines here. That's it. Let's get a piece of paper out, and then we'll have a go at make basic lines. And we're still recording. Some basic paper, like it. I think this needs sharpening. Hopefully it works. Oh yeah, that's sharp. That's sharp. Get one of these, people. The 10-win double pencil sharpener, electric, 4 AA batteries, and it does a 6mm, 8mm, and 12mm. It's brilliant. And there it is, people. Get it out of it. So we've got to do some dots. Yeah, it says there in the book, just do some dots. You can follow along if you want, people. That's fine. That's fine. Do it. So it just says do some like little dots in a circle. So create this. I think you need to create the circle, a rough circle. Can you see? Try your best to create the circle, and then ad hoc your little lines in. Yeah, and you're just creating like a circle texture. Okay, it hasn't got to be great. I think I'm happy with that, people. There's the circle. Happy days. Then it's got this square technique, which I'll do some square techniques. So you got to keep them even, a nice even square. That's good. And then you do it like again. I think we'll do 5. That should do. Yeah, that'll do. Then we'll put them in there. Then we'll do this. You can make it even, you know, perfect. But I'm just making it quick to show you that I'm doing the exercise in the book. And then it says a line here. Now I can do that. Now I can do this line. So who says you can't draw? How easy was this, people? Then it's got 2 lines at a vertical like this, or diagonal, and you're keeping it level. Nice and simple with a small gap at the top. Then we have a circle, one of the hardest shapes to get right, but I think that's not too bad for a circle. I'll buy that. Then we have a triangle. Try your best to create the triangle, Bill. And then we have a simple cube, or this is actually a square, not a cube. Okay, there's your cube, a square. And then we have 2 triangles, or a diamond, no, star. What am I doing? It's a star, Will. So you do, well, how do you start that star though? Okay, you're going to start, I'm going to start it here. So put a triangle here, yeah, down to this point. That's how I'm going to do it. Yes, and then we put a small point in here, yes. And then we do, with the same line where this is coming, we're going to do this, yeah. And where that line, where this line comes down here, no, that's wrong. It's got to go here, isn't it? How does that work out? That normal way of doing it. Hey, I'm in trouble already. Normal way of doing a star would be like this, wouldn't it? That's how I do stars anyway. It's almost like that. That's a tough one. And then it's got a circle that goes, you start at the centre. This is quite a tough challenge. So you start at the start. You don't take your pencil off. You try to keep it as even as you can. That's not too bad. That works for me, people. And then it's got visualizing a square, draw vertical lines all in the same distance apart, as straight as you can. Make them, So we do 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, 5 line, all the same width and height, eh? I think I achieved that goal, people. And then we have a, you can't draw the square, but you've got a little time. I've got to create a square now as a diagonal. So we do this. I've got to create a square of some kind with this idea of lines. Okay, I'm going a bit squee width there. We'll try again. This to there to there. Again, I'm going ski width. So that needs to extend a little bit more. Okay, so down to this point. Keep that line going. And now we can get a bit shorter, can't we? Yes. Hey, I'll buy that for a square. Not that one at the part. Now we've got to do the other way around now. I'm great. So I messed up there. It's fine. Let's go this way then. So we go little one there. But don't forget to extend it so you can get to it. I got you. Got to extend it. And I think when I do this one, we're going to start getting to shorter and bring those together. Yes. Am I creating a square here, people? It's not a bad square, is it? I'll take that. Take that. Then we have a, what is it? A grid. So you draw a nice even square like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. Looking good to me. These have got to be equal, or try your best to anyway. And I think, yeah, looking good to me, that one. Then we've got these circles. I might go over the other side here, people. We've got these little tiny circles. So we start with, what, 4? We start with 4 circles like this. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah, I can. So another circle like that. Then we do 3 circles, but the same height as them. So we're going to go 1 there. We're going to go 2 and 3. I think I got that one. And then we do a 2 circle. Oh, okay. I've gone a bit ski width there, haven't I? It's all going like there downwards. And then 3 big circles, the same width as the 4. Okay, it's not great. Okay, it's not great, but that's not bad. I'll buy that, mate. So let's go to the next page, which should be now the shading. I'm happy with that as an idea, as a concept, not total thing. Let me show you what I'll be attempting in a minute. These things here, where it's just got like shading, and then you do things like that, so you can put texture and that into your art. So we'll try some of that now, so you can see it. Bring that back down so I can hold that paper down. Not that close, Bill. Yeah. Come on, paper. Get a bit. Come on. Can you see? A little bit closer though. So this one just goes like this. So I think what we're going to do is just go for it and try and create a square like this. If it doesn't go quite a square, I don't care. That's not too bad. I'll buy that. And then if you do the same thing again in one direction like this and bring it down into whatever you're doing, and then switch the angle around, yeah, you can do it again. Not too bad. Again, this is a bit big, this pencil. Let's go for this guy. And what he's doing now is he's doing, again, that line technique, like this. But then he's doing it this way. And then we've got that texture, okay. And then the next one, which is the other one, I think he does it again, the same texture. But then I think he does it in all directions. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to go the opposite way. Yeah, which is pretty cool. And then we're going to go that way. And then we're going to have to go downwards, aren't we? Okay, we've got this. That's quite a funky texture, that one. And then we've got sort of like these marks, little tiny little bits like this, but in different directions. You can't have it in the same direction. Do you know what I mean? Everything's got to be in different lengths. Probably one in there, one over there, one going that way maybe, one going this way. I'll have two there. Maybe a little bit closer there, Will. One going that way maybe, yeah. One going here, one going there. Yeah, not too bad that. Can you see that? Yeah, not too bad. I think I'd buy that, people. Then the next task would be like a sort of bird's nest, a bird's nest technique where you put your pencil on and you create like a texture like these square things over here, what we've been doing, right? But you don't take your pencil off the paper and you create like a little pad. So we'll try that now. You can't take your paper thingy off. Try and get yourself a rough square. Can you see this? Oh, I've taken it off there. So you're not taking a big blob. You're making a little bit of a mess together, you know what I mean? In all different directions. Creating your square, doing your thing. That's not too bad. Then it says, do the same with random short marks. Oh, I did the all pencil marker. And then you do this. You're doing random marks. Okay, you are bringing it off with your pencil then, and you're bringing your randomness in it, but not too bad. You aren't doing it. That there was all the pencil, not taking it off, and then you do random marks. So you do some dots, maybe circles, a bit of this going in, bit of that going in. Bit different, isn't it? And now have a go at smudging. Oh, okay. So this pencil actually works out quite well. If you hold this pencil on the side, you can do this, like this, and bring it in, like that. Then with your finger, I know it works, you can smudge it in. Okay, your finger gets a bit dirty, but you get that look of a smudge. Yes, your finger gets that, but with a piece of paper, we can get rid of that. That'll do. And then the other technique is to keep it the way that it is. So that there's smudged. And if you do the right thing, you can get the texture off the paper. And you can use the texture of the paper. So you got this, you can see that on camera. That's the smudged version with my finger. And then you got the texture of this paper, which is quite cheap inkjet paper, which is good enough for this job. You got this extra texture. Okie dokie. And then the other ones, I'll leave those other ones in a min. I will do some line techniques where you got like broken up lines. I can fit these ones on here, should be fine. Because these ones look good. So you got these like long lines, okay? Then you bring them down. You probably get another one in there like this, okay? Then you bring probably a little bit in there. You bring a bit more of the things going in. and you're sort of bringing it into broken lines technique. I kind of like that technique. That's quite nice. And then the same thing as this, but instead of doing it continually, it's sort of hardly any pressure. So you can do this, do you know what I mean? Put more longer lines. So you are breaking it up. You're trying to break it up slightly, but not too much. Do you know what I mean? That's not a bad technique. So this one's very segmented. This one's long with segments. And then it's sort of repeating itself from the previous version. So I must be like, not do it with pencil, but I'm doing everything with pencil, do you know what I mean? Then the other two is, well, the last two I want to attempt on here with the pencil is dots, which you can see I'm making the dots. Yes, it's a bit bloody noisy, but you can get another texture out of that. Do you know what I mean? You can get the dots going on, and you can definitely form your square better. The only difference is you can't actually use it as a pencil. You're whacking the pencil lead onto the paper. And I've created a rough square there. And then it's another technique, which is very similar to the ones we just did over here anyway, but a bit more spacier, which is lines. Again, I don't think we take the pencil off the... No, we do this one. We just take it off and just go nice and slow. Don't come off the paper, Bill, otherwise you've cheated. So keep it loose, but also wide. You're not making a big mess. You're sort of keeping it loose, crossing over things. There's not quite a square there. And that'll do. That's exactly what I see in the paper, in the book. Now, dots and this technique. Completely different to these two over here. Oh well. Right then, anything else on there? Now, I'll tell you what, people have done quite a lot there. Hopefully you're enjoying this thing. We'll have a go at this, some perspective now. Page 72. So that's, I can do basic mark making. You can see this. And you can do this too. It's easy. You know, I've just showed you how easy it was. Let's move him aside. Let's get some perspective going. 71 one. 72? 72. Yeah, that's it. Right, okay. This is going to be a bit of a toughie. Single perspective, and then you draw lines to it. Okay, let's put that aside. Hopefully it doesn't go anywhere for me. Let me tell you what I know about perspective. I can't do that then. Okay, get out of it. I'll do that off camera then, people. That's no problem. But what I will do is show you my take on perspective before we finish the vid. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do. You can see this. I know you can see it. So I was taught at way back that perspective is taught like this. So we've got a right. I want to make it loose and I want to make it thingy. So that's my horizon. And if I want to create perspective to say, look, there's a road there. If we say our vanishing point is, we're going to draw a dot, sod it. That's my perspective dot. And if I draw a line here, okay, I know that this part of the road or path, yeah, has got to be along to draw the next bit of the road. It's got to be larger here because you're standing this side of it, and it's got to get shorter there. So I'm going to say it's about there, okay, and that's my perspective of a road. And what we were taught years back is if you're going to do like a fencing panel or something long here, as you go further, hang on, you don't go like that, yeah, that's it. So you want the largest one here, and you just slightly bring it down in a straight line, well. So you're bringing that fence all the way down shorter, so it gives it that perspective of getting shorter into the distance, almost to non-existence up here, and that is my fence going along that way. To see it as a fence, you could put this in, you know, you could put a little line or something like that to say it's like a little wire fence. Do you know what I mean? And again, as you get, lift the paper, lift your pencil off, that's that done. You put another one in, and it gives that perspective of, this is how I was taught it anyway. I don't need to do the rest of it. And then perhaps a third one, it's just crying out for a third one. There you go, people. That's my fence going into the distance. Yeah, rough. This is me doing it rough. Okay. So yeah, they were doing like a cube. Can you draw a cube? Well, let's start with the square bit. You do this, this, and this, and you bring that down here. Then you bring that over there. Okay, I'm doing this very quick. And if this is my perspective, of course, it's going to go from this point, isn't it? So that's my perspective there. Yes. And then it comes from that point, something like that. And brings that to. And it comes all to a point up here somewhere like that. Is that right? I don't know. I'll have to look at this on camera, but my teachings years ago of perspective is this. Of course, you'd have to have a, it could be a dirt road, but you could put this in. Yeah, you could put that in like that, and you've created this road technique. But yeah, I've got a lot to do, people, a lot to learn. I just wanted to look at perspective, a quick look at it, but also show you how easy it is to draw. I wanted a challenge after doing like where's it gone? After doing these paint by numbers, which is fantastic, I wanted to challenge myself with an original piece of art. So get back into drawing, get back into learning things, but I want to look at perspective and create that painting, my original piece of art that I've got in my head, and that is of a city, maybe a city in Japan. I'm going to use Google Earth to get that image and then do some sketching from it and get some rough sketches done, and then create the painting, or for like the study. They're called studies, painting studies, so I might create a study for the final painting anyway. And if that study goes well, the idea then is to go buy a canvas board like this one is. It's got like that, it's on this canvas is on a wood frame, right? It's all done. You can buy these ready done, and you can buy them blank. So I'll be buying a blank if it comes out good. If my study turns out good, and I'll be showcasing that on YouTube, and you can follow along, I will then transfer that to one of these actual canvas boards, and I'll do it all in acrylic. And I will be using a perspective, shading, colours, line work, all done in acrylic. But my actual study will be done on like an A3 piece of paper, good thick paper and all, and it'll be in watercolour. I don't know, I might do a watercolour at the end, I don't know. So hopefully you've enjoyed this quick little go at doing basic drawing and a quick look at perspective and my take on it. If you've got any tips, tricks, or you want to chip in with a video you think that I need to watch, or you could be helpful to someone who's watching who's watched a video on basic sketching techniques or perspective, put them in the comments. I look forward to your comments and likes, and I look forward to showcasing my cityscape of Japan original painting with you guys. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now.